Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 140 of the Omnivore Podcast. I am Sadie. I will be your hostess with the mostest, Beetlejuice style. Anywho, apparently I start talking and Bebop and Frank both decided to come in here. They decided to come say hi. Hi Frank. Hi Fatso. I swear she's gonna get a complex, but she is quite rotund. FYI. I am not joking. Although she's lost some weight, so I'm pretty proud of her. Hold on a second. Come here. During Snuggletopia, makes sense that I would have a cat in my lap. And she will be joyous because she is not usually allowed in this room. And I need to cut my bangs. And I'm too cheap to go to a hairdresser, so I have to do it myself, and I'm just being lazy at this point, so that will be in your way. And I've got like 8 different colors of hair going on here, so let's just plow through my problem, shall we? And there goes Bebop. Oh well, if he barks too much, I'll just give him a bone. It's a trick I use. Raising the roof here. You can't see it. There's a tail. Okay. 1 sec. Okay, so little diversion. 1 minute in. If that is the symbol of what is to come, we're in trouble. Hopefully that is not. But he's here now. He has a rawhide, and hopefully that will keep him entertained. So, as I said, my name is Sadie. This is episode 140 of the Omnivore Podcast. It is the 15th of January, 2014. So what have I been up to? Well, I did finish something. And FYI, we're a little late. We're a little late on getting this podcast up. We, being me, because of the update that happened yesterday. But we'll talk about that in a minute. I finished another snuggle. It is out of Bernat satin in a black, held with held double with Lady Fair Eaton blah 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 sport, I think. So, very smishy, very soft, very flopsy, but yet not snaggable. Not very snaggable for the clawed ones. And, yeah, so there you have it. I really want to get my ass moving on snuggles, because I only have 3. Like 3 weeks in, I only have 3. This is kind of sad and pathetic, especially since I have so many prizes. Come here, boo. Come get your bone. Yes, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. Okay, I'm sure you needed to hear that. So that's the only thing I actually finished. I finished a snuggle, and let's face it, that's a pretty big deal considering what I'm knitting currently. So I've got so much crap in my chair. So works in progress. Works in progress. What have I got on the needles? Well, in the Seashore Sharon bag, as you may recall, I finished the first Jack sock. Looks a lot shorter than it is. Totally fits my foot, FYI. I got a big fat foot, so I can assure you that this is a lot bigger than it looks. This is, and there's the gorgeous pattern. I love the gorgeous pattern. I really want to try this on a self-striping. And I'm not sure if the sparkle will get picked up. This is a sparkly sock yarn. Sparkly! So the first one's done. I cast on the second one. I didn't get very far. Merp. It is wee. I have not yet finished the ribbing, as you can tell. There's the ball of yarn. This is the other mother colorway, which I know has probably been renamed by another crafty girl, Ponky, Sarah. We love her. You should love her too. And my mother picked this out. This was my New Year's Eve cast on. So the first sock is done. The Jack pattern by Regina Sata. Right, Regina Sata, Sata, whatever. It's a free pattern. It is a slip stitch with a purl. It is very easy. It's a 2-row repeat. One of the rows is knit. It's free, so I can tell you that. And yeah, went to town on this bugger. So cast on the second one. This is the first pair of 2014. Excitement. So there's that. That's been on there. That has gotten some work done because I know I didn't have the first one finished last time. Also on the needles, as things fall off my chair. Oh well. Oh well. There will be bending. The Morning Coffee by Amy Herzog, which is not a free pattern, which I cast on in Malabrigo Rios in the Bobby Blue colorway. Oh, the socks are knit on a US 1, which I believe is 2.25 millimeter needle. Now, the back was done. You may recall. The Morning Coffee back was done. I did do the decreases on the back. I'm not doing them on the front. It's not happening. It's just not. I want it to fit me, and I want it to be snugly and not fitted. So I did the decreases in the back, and I'm not doing them in the front. So here is the, and you do this thing so you can sew it across the back of the neck. So the front, which is rolling heavily because it will be seamed, this is the front right, which has the buttonhole. Here's the buttonhole. So the front right side, there's some double chin for you. The front right side is done. Probably going to have to pause this again and go and assure my dog that life is not ending because there are snowplows. It's not. It really isn't. But he likes to think it is. And I cast on the left front. Here's the ball of yarn. It is a... There you go. That's true to color. It's a blue, purple blue, denim-y, if you will. So the left front got cast on. So I have the left front to finish and a pair of sleeves by the end of February. I think I can do it. And this is on my high sharps. It's US 7 4.5 millimeter needles. These are the only sharps I own. These are the only sharps I've worked with. And I can't see myself getting them for socks because I would end up damaging my hands because I'm a poker. So there would be some serious bloodshed. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Why do I announce this? Seriously, these are all going to be spliced together. You're going to be like, why do you just keep saying you're back? Well, I am. And, Bebop had to pee. So, he is now peed. And he should be leaving me alone. Hopefully, if the plows don't get to him. Plows get to him. You know, we're from Canada. Bebop was a Canadian dog for 11 years of his life. You would think, he'd be used to plow. Nope. Little bugger. Eat your bone. But I love him. Okay. What else do I have on the needles? The fact that I had to pause meant I could get the stuff that fell off the chair. It fell off on the other side of the chair, so I had to get up and get it anyway, so... the pause did something for us. I have started my fourth snuggle. This is going to be a big one. Fourth snuggle. It is a pattern from the Dishcloth Diva book that I will be reviewing in a little bit. I doubled the pattern, and I doubled the interior pattern. I noted what the side numbers were, and doubled the interior, and thusly I have this. This is all I've got so far. This should be done by next week, as well as at least another one or two, because I still have that bit. It's about half full, 3/4 full. gotten 3 snuggles so far. So that's been a couple skeins of yarn, either way. And I am doing this out of Eaton Lady Fair Sport held double. This is some gold classic 70s stuff from my aunt. Made in Canada. The best of acrylic. 100% acrylic. I feel like Marion Cadell in the Sweater Song, which isn't actually a song. Do you remember that? Did you guys get that? It was really big in Regina, but there's this spoken word song, if you will, called The Sweater, and it's about it. The basic premise of the song is, you fall in love with this dude and you really want a sweater, and you end up wearing a sweater, and he's a total jackass. But you know the secret. The secret is 100% acrylic. I'm guessing she was a knitter. You know that secret you'll take to the grave. I should see if I can find that with the YouTube in the show notes. It was really big in the 90s in Canada. Well, not in Canada, in Regina. Regina does not encompass all of Canada. But Marion Cadell, that was the name of the lady, in my Foxy bag from Miss Casey at Tangerine Designs. I went to a tattoo convention on Sunday, which is half of the reason I am late, because I didn't end up working on Sunday, and then I had to work all Monday and couldn't record. Blah, 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 blah. Tuesday was the update. Yammer, yammer, fart up a tree. But at the tattoo convention, because Becca, who has co-hosted here several times, she was in the tattoo competition for her chest piece. I was not, because my artist was not there, and blah, blah, blah. It's disrespectful. Would have been disrespectful. And it is not a full chest piece. It's a tattoo on my chest. A chest piece would have more work to it. But anyway, so she was in competition, and while we were waiting for her category, I pulled this out. This is a bit of my purse knitting, which really means that very little gets done because I don't leave my house very often. It's a sorry state of affairs, and let's face it. I don't leave my house often enough where I have knitting to be done. I don't spend a lot of time in lines. I went to the Hobbit movie. I took this to the Hobbit movie, did not get a damn thing done on it. You know why? Because it was the Hobbit movie. Naysayers, say nay. I don't care. I love it. This is the Batty sock base by Moi, Knitter's Nightmare. And this colorway is the Necromorph colorway. Of course, my hubby insisted when I did the video games that I had to do one for him. This one has a few issues, which is why he gets to have it. Of course, it's very dark purple, dark gray, and a neon green. So eventually these will get done for him. I should actually probably work on them more because he just blew out 2 pairs of socks, hand-knitted socks. 2 pairs in like 1 month. To be fair, one of them was like one of the first pairs I ever knit him. And he wore them out from use, so that you can't complain. Why would you complain? The sad thing is Bebop ate 2 pairs of my socks. Yes, Bebop eats mine and not his, and that bugs me. Sorry, pod people who have earbuds. You're not pod people. I mean, people watching the podcast with earbuds. Yeah. I've got a million things to do today. My mind is so fried. So fried! I don't even remember. Oh yeah, yesterday was the update. I was going to say, I don't remember what I did yesterday, and I don't, because it was, there was yarn. It was yarn and a nap. Although I did watch The Hobbit, which is maybe why I remember The Hobbit. But either way, for Christmas, hubby got me the big box set. One big box Hobbit. So we finally broke out that Blu-ray because I don't believe in keeping them in the box. I think I have 2 of them are still in the box, but it's mostly because I didn't want them to get broken. Because my one brother, his has been injured. So, there you have it. But we forked that out and we watched it, and makes me want to knit the mittens that I saw. A Hobbit's Journey. Is that what it is? There's a book. There's an ebook you can get. Whatever. Moving on, the Happy in Red blanket. I forget who did it. It's a free pattern called Happy in Red off of Ravelry. I have gotten to the dark blue. So you're showing this to my mother, and because I was in the dark, this dark green was showing up as almost a black, and it's not. It's a dark green. I have about 4 or 5 more colors to go. I'll hold that down. There we go. Now I'm not blitzed out. I have a bagillion ends. Once I'm done the first color set, I'll weave in the ends, and I know I could crochet them in, but yeah, I'm just not happening. I am just not dedicated enough to do that. Not on a project I am not familiarized with. It is, however, getting horribly redundant, which I like, because then I don't really have to think. I'm starting to be able to read and understand what's going on, so that's how far I've gotten, although I have used an entire skein of black yarn so far, so I'm going to need more black yarn. It's not a big problem in my world. So, there's that. That's a work in progress. Now, tangential story. I know y'all love my tangential stories. Okay, so I like shopping at Savers. It's the exact same company as Value Village in Canada. They call it Value Village in Canada. They call it Savers in the United States. I like going there. And so I went there. I was looking for pants. Looking for pants, and apparently looking for pants means I will not get pants at all. I have like 2 pairs of jeans. That's it. I am down to 2 pairs. I either need to lose some weight so that I fit into the other pairs, or I just need to buy new pants. But I'm not willing to pay full price for jeans. But there's another Savers and another Goodwill. Whatever. I was looking for more cheap acrylic to put in this bin. To knit snuggles out of. Because you can always find good acrylic. You can usually find a good sale on acrylic. Well, I couldn't find any that, like, I was not getting. There was this yellow. And it wasn't even yellow. It was not a good yellow. It was a cross between like a pastel and washed out. It was bad. I was not touching that. But ooh, eye schmutz. I really hope you can't see eye schmutz. And you're just like, oh yay, Sadie. Clear your eye schmutz. My mother would be telling me, schmutzy. Schmutzy. We're not Jewish, but we love using the terminology. There you have it. But I'm an honorary Jewish person. Thanks to Netta. And I feel very special for that. Anywho, I was looking in Savers at the acrylic, the crafting center, and they had those knit lights. You remember those? You know, the needles lit up, and I was gonna buy a pair because they were $1.99. But what am I gonna do with a pair of light up needles that are size 8? I don't knit anything. Well, I do, but straights? I don't know. I couldn't justify that. I really wanted to, but I couldn't justify it because they just sit up here in my straights, and yeah. So, but I saw this. There's a close-up of the picture, and it was in a kit that was completely sealed, like no one had opened it, for $1.99. My uncle is currently going through a rough time. Him and my aunt, and well, it's not like they are having a rough time between them. They're having a rough time in life. And he's a wolf person. He's definitely a wolf person. He has wolf tattoos. And he does needlepoint. He is a welding biker who does needlepoint. So when I saw this, I immediately thought of him. It's a $1.99. It's a very pretty wolf. And I thought I should get that and do that for him. Just, you know, like to show my care, because I can't really knit for him. Well, I can, but I don't. Well, I can't. I can and I can't. Like, he doesn't need any knitwear. He's out in BC, primarily welding, where it's very warm and you can't really do anything. I knit him a Siwash that has the Harley-Davidson logo on it. But for the most part, I just don't knit for him because he doesn't use a lot of mitts or hats or, like, yeah, no. So what do you do for that man? You needlepoint. You see a needlepoint for $1.99 at Savers, and you say, I have to have this, and I have to make this for him. And I will actually send it to my mother, who can then decide if she wants to frame it or if she wants to have it professionally framed before it goes to him. But, and she's seen it and she thinks it's awesome. The sad thing is, it's all color-coded on the back, and the squares are really tiny. I've been doing needlepoint since I was but a wee lass, and everyone in my family does needlepoint. My aunt, my uncle, two of my uncles, my mom, my grandpa was really into it. Apparently it's the men thing. Maybe that's why I like it. It's very masculine in my family. The women and the men do it, so it's very, maybe it's not masculine, it's very unisex. It's not, whatever. So I bought the 3 minutes in to tell you that I bought a $1.99 thing at Savers. So I bought it, and they didn't have any hoops, and I was like, well, I have hoops at home. Well, they had some hoops, but I didn't want to, like, get, like, a fairy needlepoint just to get a hoop. So I was like, I have hoops at home, I'll just come home. And I was like, I have that one I was working on, like, years ago. When I went through my first spurt of cross-stitching, where I did the whatever squirrels for my mother, I did the fuck hearts for myself, which are hanging right there, and I did the Grateful Dead Steal Your Face logo for my brother for his birthday. I'm sorry. This is the cough. It lingers. But I had done all those, and then I had started this one, and then I put it down. But I wanted my hoop, so I had to finish it. So I finished this one. If you're on Instagram, you saw it. It says People Are Cattle, and it's got little cows. It's from Subversive Cross Stitch. And I need to chop off the end half here and iron it and frame it. I'm not going to pay to have it framed. It's just, that would just be ridiculous at this point. But it came out really cute. I like the little cows. When I had put it down, I had People, and a row of cows. So I got the flowers in the grass, and I finished the wording and did the bottom cows. And I'm quite pleased with it. Not gonna lie, it has renewed my vigor. Vigor has been renewed. Although I've been going through a malaise with the knitting, if you can't tell, because I have like 2 projects on the needles, and then I have a crochet project. What? And a cross stitch. So I did start the wolf. I suppose I could eject this from Karen because it's all her fault. I could call it Pokey Things because it is Karen's fault. My original cross-stitching fanaticism when I did the 3 pieces all at the same time, that was Leslie's fault because she had done one. And I was like, ooh, I like to cross-stitch, and then I looked up Subversive Cross-Stitch, and I was like, ooh, I need those. And that's what happened there. And so there's the wolf. It's a lot of single, like, individual just squares. It's a lot of shade work, which is fine. So that's how far I've gotten. You can see there's the mouth, and there's the forehead, and here's an ear started. Prior to putting the nose in, the nose-mouth piece right here, hubby thought it looked like a deranged beard. Now it looks a little better. So I'm hoping to get this done, the sooner the better, so I can send it off to Canada. It is very fun. Very fun. And it's all Karen's fault. All Karen's fault. Sticking with that. So, what else do I have to say? Ooh, Snuggles. Snuggletopia continues onward, or Pet Blanketopia. And there are 2 colorways. I actually have 4 skeins left. So if you catch this and you still want some of the Snuggle colorways, there are a few skeins left you can run over and get. $5 from the sale of each of the 2 colorways go to registered animal charities. Pitbull Rescue for the dogs and Fix Nation for the cats. So this is Perfect, which is the kitty colorway. There's really no way to get this to catch up properly. It is a kind of a light purple, a shaded light purple, a tealy blue, and a black. It's a tri-stripe. It's on the baddie sock base. It's very pretty. If I wasn't donating money to charity, I'd keep some for myself. And I'm shocked I still have some of this. And it was a beast to die. And it's going to be a beast to die again. This is Puppy Love, which is kind of Mardi Gras. That's not showing up properly. It's a deep green, a rich green. Here, if I hold it back here, it's right, but the purple kind of blends in. It's a royal purple, a rich green, and a zinging yellow. There, have a tip. So, I think I have 4 skeins left altogether, which is really good. I will continue to dye those throughout the Snuggle period. There should almost always be snuggly colors. So there's Puppy Love and Perfect. Later today we'll be putting up a thread. I was contacted by a viewer, and I love it when I get contacted by viewers who wanted to donate a skein of Volmice. You may recall this thread happened last year, just for big dog snuggles. Big dog. Big dog. Because they usually get the shaft. So, and they need them too. It is a bigger one, and that is why I do the yardage as well. But there will be a thread where you can post just big dog snuggles, and I will randomly draw a prize from there. I may make it more than one, because, oh my god, do we have prizes. Let me just run through a few things for you, and they're probably all going to be in some form of bag. We've got Tosh, Highland Handmade Flace, Leading Man Fiber Arts in Sucker Punch. We've got fishnets. We've got project bags, which are over in here. Not in my bag of giantness. We've got some self-striping randomness. We've got, what else do we got? We've got all kinds of stuff going on here. I know we have, what else do we have? We've got some other self-striping. We got Habu, Carabella. We've got lace. We've got sock. We've got DK. We've got Silk Essence. I know I'm just leaning off screen and telling you this, but really gorgeous colorways. So there is a bagillion prizes, and there will be a bagillion more. And you know the basic premise. I'm just going to keep making up categories until everything's gone. So there are the main categories you can win for. Top 3 most yardage, top 3 knit, the top 3 podcasters, which is 9 prizes right there. There are 3 randoms. There's the trifecta. There's now the big dog. So that's all I've got. Those are the only categories I've got. So once that's done, I'm just randoming until I'm done. Randoming. And there will be little groups. So there will be project bag, sock yarn, maybe a set of needles, so you can have like the full sock experience, or shawl for a prize. But there will be prizes, and the only requirement is that you be a member of the group. Speaking of prizes, now that I've completely besmirched my little bag of awesome, seriously awesome, I've also got some pictures coming in of some stuff that is going to be sent directly from the people who are donating it. I'm getting the wool mice is coming in. I've got stitch markers. Oh my god, I keep forgetting how intense January, February is just sheerly on the prizes. There are like, what, 28 snuggles have been entered, so get your snuggles in there. Haley, 30 last year, where are you, my dear? Public shaming. Public shaming. Although Vicky Dragonfly, she is kicking some butt. So is K-Par. So, the heat is on, people. Now, I was contacted by Cooperative Press, as I am fairly frequently, and you've probably already seen this reviewed on other podcasts. I know that Dramatic Knits did it. I thought it would be a really good thing to review today because I am actually modifying one of the patterns to use for snuggles. And I thought, let me just get back to the first page. I thought it would be a good idea to have a little review and giveaway for it. It is Dishcloth Diva Knits On by Deb Buckingham. There are several patterns of dishcloths. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, and a lapgan. So there's 16, well, I'll say 16 patterns, 15 dishcloths, and how to put them all together as a lapgan. They've got the great, wonderful, super linky table of contents with pictures in the start. I like that they're all named after ladies. I like the styles of them, and I think the great thing about them is you can never have too many dishcloths. You may recall I knit dishcloths during Christmas time. I've also done the dishcloths, the Boo set, the Halloween dishcloth set. Those are fun. I enjoy banging out a few dishcloths. They're really easy. They're a good palate cleanser, and as has gone into here, you can actually get away with some wool blends. You could do these out of wool and then use them as Afghan squares. There really is no limitations. There is an all about wool in this. It's a little thing about the differences between wool. And, you know, if you're not into cotton, I know it hurts some people's hands. It bugs my hands, but I still do it. Pretty much until my pinky finger goes numb. But she does go into dishcloths. What is good for the pros, the cons. So really, you could use this as a sampler. I am not sure if the intention was there for it to be an Afghan sampler as well as dishcloths, but it really does, it unifies itself. So if you just have those one skein of DK or whatever, or sport, you've got one skein, and it's pretty much got one skein in everything, right? Because, like, let's face it, I could probably do this out of sock yarn. My squares would be smaller, but I could do it because I have so much sock yarn of the same weight. If you had a bunch of skeins in the same weight and just one skein, it would be great to do. And as Afghan squares, like this one, the Lucille Bell, is gorgeous. It's a gorgeous color work. There you go. It's a gorgeous color work, as you can see. I don't know that I'd do it for a dishcloth, personally. Personally, as a dishcloth, I would think that's just too much effort for something I'm going to be scrubbing dirt off of dishes with. Because I'm very basic and utilitarian. But when I think, well, if I wanted an Afghan square, or if I wanted a snuggle, that would work. Actually, it wouldn't work for snuggles because there's a bit of an elongated stitch, and I think that might catch. But as an Afghan square, it really works. Now, I did go through this, and it's like, I'll knit that one for a snuggle. So really, I have my snuggle set for the whole thing. But Nellie would be good for snuggles. Be good to bang out as an Afghan square, and it would be really good for washing dishes because of the alternating knit and purl. And see, that's the thing. I like to make a lot of dishcloths that have texture because that is really what gets the grime off. The LMA, again, just very textured. And there's a whole variety of cottons I didn't know that existed out there. Now, opal. I love opal, but I see that as an Afghan square. I don't see it as a dishcloth. I would not use it as a dishcloth, but as an Afghan square, heck yeah. And if I were in like some sort of trade-off squareage, like the knit girls used to have, that would come in handy for me. I really like the utilitarian. This is the one I'm doing the snuggle out of currently, I think. No, it's not Betty. I like Betty, but I don't think it's Betty. Or maybe it is Betty. No, it's Helen. Helen, my grandmother's name. And it's just a very simple alternating basket weave-ish rib. I like the fact that there are so many different things as far as cottons. So, while we all use a lot of lilies and cream, I know we all do, I do, or the Burnett Handicrafter cotton, you know, the cheap crap. There's cheap crap. That's what I get. But there is less cheap crap. There's stuff that is better. And, not better, but more refined, less like knitting with ick. But so we could actually try out some other cottons and really get to feel what is good about it, because I know the SR Kurtzer cotton, which I've knit with. I knit a Henry Rollins doll for a friend a while back. That cotton is far less painful on the hands, and it is a cotton. I'm not sure how it would hold up as a dishcloth cotton, but it is a cotton. And then at the end of the book, there's the Lapghan project. Which basically, Ronald McDonald Care Home, benefits, blah blah blah, and various people knit squares, and then it was seamed together. As you can see, that there's a whole story that you get with the book about knitting on for charity, and I think that's why this particular review goes excellently with Snuggle Season, because these are excellent snuggle things. If you don't feel like modifying the patterns, you could just knit 4 and seam them together, and it would work quite fine. Or crochet them together. There's some gorgeous thanks. This is the second in our series. She did a first one, because this is Knits On. And I think that makes all the difference for why she discusses the Lapghan and the options of using wool. Because we really are involved in a blanket culture. I know a lot of blanket culture. It's a blanket culture. A lot of podcasters are doing blankets this year. A lot of groups are doing blankets or Afghans. Year of the Blanket, Year of the Afghan. I've seen it, I've heard it, and vaguely maybe participating in it because I'm knitting an Afghan, or crocheting an Afghan, and knitting so many bloody snuggles. But if we're into that right now, this is an excellent book. If you're into knitting dishcloths, and I know a lot of people do it, and bang it out, and have some for Christmas, for birthdays, for Mother's Day, for Father's Day, for any, like, for occasions, they come in handy. Look at me, I did a whole bunch for Christmas, and this is going to come in handy when I need to make more for my sister-in-law's birthday. And you can never have too many, because let's face it, once they get disgusting, you want to throw them out anyway, and you can, because they cost like $1. But I definitely think you should check it out. It is on Ravelry. Let me just see how much this retails for. Since I've got you right here, I'm going to do that annoying thing where I check how much it costs on the podcast, because you haven't watched my face enough. Wow, she's got a lot more dishcloths in her Ravelry store. I see Deb Buckingham designs. I don't want that. Click on her name. There we go. It's $9.95. $9.95 for a serious amount of patterns. That is not bad. There are 15 patterns in all, according to the website. You can get it both print and digitally. I'm quoting the digital. So I'll just show you the Ravelry page here, since I've already talked about it. It shows off all of the glorious things, and it's $9.95 US. Features a foreword from Kelly Petkin from Knit Picks, an avid fan of the humble washcloth. So there are more than just, me who will sing the praises of washcloths. They're good for everything. And we will be giving away one thanks to Cooperative Press. So there will be a thread, because we need another thread in the Yarnivore group, and you must be a member. I will draw for it next week. I would like you guys to talk about either your response, or the question at hand will be, do you knit dishcloths? Or do you knit Afghan squares? Why? Maybe you knit Afghan squares like it's going out of style because you want blankets for Canada, or blankets for the homeless, or maybe it's because you knit washcloths because you wash a lot of things, or you have a million kids and you need to wash things. Who knows? Or maybe your family's just obsessed with washcloths. But it will be in the show notes. And either way, you should go check it out. And you should check out the patterns, because they are awesome. And let's face it, if you don't win and you still want it, you should get it, because $9.95 for 15 patterns, that's they're not even paying $2 a pattern. It's like 75 cents. I don't do math in my head. Totally worth it. So that is the Dishcloth Diva Knits On by Deb Buckingham. One more shot. And I totally think you should check it out. 15. It's also a great way, if you're a newer knitter, to try out a skill without doing a big project. Cables, ribs, textures, which are all included in this ebook. So if you did want to do the Afghan square, if you wanted to do an Afghan as like a beginner thing, wow, I'm really rambling about this book. I must like it. If you wanted to do an Afghan as a beginning knitting project where you're learning new techniques in each square and then seeing them all together and see how funny it looks, this would be great because there are 15 different patterns that utilize yarn overs, ribs, textures, cables, lace. Just saying. You don't have to make dishcloths just because it says dishcloths, unless you love dishcloths. Multiple good. So, what else do I have? That's everything. That is everything I have. This is going to be a really long episode, but I had a lot of stuff to talk about, and I showed you some prizes, and there are more prizes. So really, I don't know why you're not knitting snuggles while you're watching this, and you should go and buy some of those colorways, because there's 4 left, and really, it benefits dogs and cats, which is awesome. And I'll see you guys next week. I'm going to try and record on Monday. Gonna try. There's no tattoo convention next weekend, so I won't be doing that. And there is probably going to be an update late next week, but it's just going to be fiber. I am Blue Ruin on Ravelry. We shoot stars on Plurk. I don't know why I keep saying that. I haven't been there in ages. I am Sadie Ruin on Twitter and Instagram. You should join the Arnivorous group. When we hit 1,000, I will throw down. However, we have not hit 1,000 yet. You should come join the group anyway, because there's lots of threads and lots of winning. And just lots of awesome, really. I will see everybody next week. I hope you have a great week.